Okay, so this video is page 56 of the Discover Graphics book. Again, still working on our quadrilaterals chapter 5. And this here is the BMW i logo. Okay, so that's the brand there, the sub-brand of BMW, the i8 as you see in the picture, alright? So this is our logo here, alright? It's based on a parallelogram, which is basically a rectangle kind of pushed to the side, alright? A parallelogram of an angle 70 degrees, and the eye is parallel to our outsides. So basically another parallelogram and little rhombus up above. Alright, actually sorry, apologies, that's actually a parallelogram as well. Alright, so nice and handy. Again, quick solution to this, we're going to put in our baseline. Alright, we're going to measure up the height. We're going to put in a horizontal line above it, parallel to the ground. And then we're going to go at our 70 degrees. Okay. So, fit the two of them on the page. There was the last question from the last video. So we're going to do our light line, our light horizontal line. I'm going to measure our distance there. So the overall distance, I'll put my start point here, and it is 115. There's my 115 mark. Okay, so that's your base. You can actually heavy that in because we know exactly that's staying there. It doesn't go anywhere. All right, so put in our 15. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to measure up the overall height. Now, we'll put in, I know normally I put in our steps, but we're not going to do that just yet because we want to find our overall height and then we'll be able to do that in a second. Okay, so, excuse me. So, what we're going to do is we're going to measure up the overall height, which is 160. 2H pencil for our construction lines. We're going to do a light line across. Now we don't know where it's going to end, but we know it's going this way, so we're overextending to the right hand side. Alright, now what we can do is get our protractor. Alright, so the crosshairs goes on the start of the line, that's where we're aiming, and our 180 and our 0 sits flat on the line. Okay, so crosshairs on the line, 0, 180, and I'm going to put it at 70. So that's the angle there, 70 degrees. Here we have it here, 70 degrees, and we can put that in heavy now because we know where that goes. Now, we can go down the route and we can do our 70 again, or what we can do is we can do sliding set squares. So what we can do as well, so we can do our protractor 70 degrees, or we can do sliding set squares. Okay, so we can get our angle, again just kind of learning or using the skills we've learned, alright? So like we always do, 2 set squares together because we already have our 90. It just quickens things up a little bit. Get your angle, sliding set squares, alright? So get our angle, make sure we have our constant, our hand stays in our constant, which is the one down the bottom there. We're going to slide it down. Now we can put all the weight on our opposite and we can heavy it up. Alright, now we'll close that off with our T-square. Close that up there now with our T-square. And there we have our parallelogram tilted off to the side. Now we can go down the lines of popping in all our measurements all the way across. Okay, so the first one there is 65. This is to get the eye now. And from the 65, we're going to go 35 millimeters. Alright, so we have 2 here. We're going to do our light lines and we're going to do the sliding set square method again, alright? So 2 of them up together, offer them up to the line, put the weight all onto the constant, which is the bottom one at the moment, nearly acting like our T-square. Alright, slide it down to where our 65 goes. Nice and light this time, 2H pencil, nice and light. Alright, pop the other one in, nice and light. There we have 2 parallel lines popped in for the eye. Now, what we're going to do next is we're going to put all our heights from here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop from this corner a little light line down, nearly like what's in the book. Light line down. I'm going to bring this across to meet it here. Alright. This just gives me a little baseline literally, and we can measure up all our heights here that we can bring across in a second. Okay. So our first one is 15. Little dot out here. Next one from that is 90. Okay, from this point is 10. And lastly from that is 25. There, so we've all our points now. All we have to do is square now, close them off. Nice and light. And when we get to this portion, we can actually heavy that up. Up here, nice and light. When we find it, heavy it up. And rinse and repeat. Okay. Last one's here, nice and light. Close it up. Alright. Last little thing we're going to do here now. We're going to close all these together. There's all our points there. So close that up. Close that up. Now you don't need to do sliding Seltzer splits because we already have that angle gone in. So we're just going to run down through to close them up. And that is the I in the BMW sub brand series. Alright.